I have a little cousin who, when he was young, he really loved salt. And he loved salt so much that whenever we would have eggs in the morning at my grandparents' house, he would always lunge for the salt shaker and try and pour as much salt as he could onto his eggs. And it would always be a family duty to keep the salt shakers away from him and, you know, put a little salt on his eggs, but not too much. And this was kind of a stressful part of our collective breakfast. So one day, his parents thought it would be a good idea, which I thought it would be a good idea too, to let him just one time pour the salt on his eggs himself and just let him pour as much of the salt as he wanted. So he took the salt shaker, one of the two salt shakers we had, and he just dumped it upside down. Just let it all run out onto his eggs. So there was a pile of eggs, and then there was another pile of salt on top of the eggs. It looked like a little mound of snow. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It's probably, 15 years ago. He took a big scoop of the eggs with just a pile of salt on it. And he put the whole thing in his mouth. So much joy and excitement that finally he had arrived at his dream. He had all the salt he could want. And of course, within a moment, his joy turned to horror and despair at the awful, awful, awful taste of all that salt. And he spat it out. Spat it all back onto his plate. And we almost, he's probably near tears because it tastes horrible. And he's probably, I don't even know what he was, maybe 5 or 6 or something. And I as this was happening, I was like, thank goodness, like, this is a bad experience, but he's going to understand why we keep the salt away from him, because too much salt makes things taste worse. But just the right amount of salt makes things taste better. But no sooner had the egg and salt pile tumbled from his mouth than did he let out a blood-curdling scream, pointing at the other salt shaker. And he yelled, "Wrong salt!" I feel like I still have a lot to learn from that moment. And I think that somehow that moment is very connected to what is going on in Israel and Palestine. I'm not exactly sure how, but I think that what I want is to be safe and to have enough to eat and enough to drink, and to be warm in the winter and cool enough in the summer, and to live my life surrounded by people who I love dearly and who love me too. And there are people in this world who would put other things before those things I mentioned. But not many of them. And of the ones who would put something before those other things, I think that almost all of them were hurt so deeply as children that it changed the whole structure of reality for them. And that's not any kind of excuse and I'm not talking about any side. I'm just talking about people. And there are psychopaths. Seems like it. I mean, I don't know exactly. It may have something to do with still some kind of twist of expression of pain of themselves or their ancestors, or it's a mystery. I've heard things about there being an evolutionary advantage to having a small subset of psychopaths in your society, because they'll defend you from the bears and the enemy tribes and stuff. Hello. Hi. So beautiful. So beautiful. They'll defend you from the enemy tribes or the bears, with more ruthless, calculated direction. There might be something to that, but Lord willing, we mostly don't have to worry about bears anymore. I mean, if you're hiking in Montana, maybe you have to worry about bears, but most of us don't have to worry about bears. There's a very cute dog. Hello. the only way, I think, for us to get what we want well, I shouldn't say that. I think that peace is the center. I don't mean center like center of a balance beam. I mean center like the center of the earth, or the center of the sun, or your heart. Peace, I think peace is the easiest thing. I think peace is peace is the easiest thing. What makes us angry? What makes you angry? What makes me angry? What makes us angry? I'm gonna turn you around. I don't know if you can see in the distance. There are the guards of the palace. It's kind of like, this is Denmark. I'm in Denmark right now. And it's kind of like the guards in England, I think, where they don't move, but the Denmark version. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. Oh. Do you see the resemblance? Oh, wow. We just walked up to, I don't know if you probably can't see it, but it's the changing of the guard. Wow. I think that's a good sign. I think it only happens a couple times a day. Wow, they're walking so slowly. They must be very cold. Oh. Maybe it's not the changing of the guard. They're just walking back and forth extremely slowly. Wow. Very disciplined. Anyway, I still think it was a good sign they walked back and forth extremely slowly. I think I know a lot of people I really like the word faith. It's another cute dog. I really like the word faith. Hello. Can I say hi?
Yeah,
Thank you. Hello. Oh, hi. 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 Oh. Hi. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. Hi. Hi. Thank you. Have a good one. I really like the word faith. And I'll tell you why I like the word faith. Because we have no idea about anything. We have no idea what's going on. We have no idea. We have no idea about anything. None. No idea about anything. It's like, okay. Imagine trying to teach the rules of chess to a fish. Maybe an octopus you could do. Okay, imagine trying to explain how a car engine works to a fish. There isn't even an imagine. That's not something that could be done. Right? Based on the nature of explain and the nature of a fish and the nature of a car. It's not that you couldn't explain a car engine to a fish. It's that doesn't even make sense as a thing to do or not do. I'm not really saying anything when I say imagine explaining a car engine to a fish. It just doesn't exist. Like in math in college, they one of my professors was telling us about the kinds of zeros, and there's zero. They wrote the zero, which is one less than the integer one less than the lowest integer, and there is I forget at this point. It was like brackets or parentheses around it. And it was like, okay, that's the null set, which essentially can imagine a list of things with nothing in the list, an empty list of things. That's another kind of zero. And then he just erased the board. There are things which to us are so clear and so apparent that to a fish couldn't be. They couldn't be clear. The fish couldn't understand. And I think it's a lot more likely than not that it keeps going. That that there are things beyond us which we couldn't understand. In much the same way that there are things which are so clear and apparent to us that a fish couldn't understand. And if we know, if we think that or feel that, or if that makes the most sense to us, not just like as an intellectual pursuit, but hello, is this the way out of the palace?
Pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry, do you speak English?
Yes.
Is this the way out? Can I?
Yeah, if you just go straight out, and then when you're having a crossroad,
Take a left?
then you take the left.
Okay, thank you guys so much. Yeah. Stay warm. If we feel that, like, not just like as an idea, but actually really try to feel it, to me that connects back somehow to the word faith. And that's one of the reasons I like the word faith. Faith in the idea that the most clear and certain thing about the rational mind, from my perspective, well, there are two. One is how grateful I am for it. Without it, we wouldn't be who we are and what we are, and what we have. Without the rational mind, we would all die. And all of what this is, all of what this is to have faith in, would cease to be. And so for that reason, I feel like I love it. I have so much gratitude for it. It's intrinsically a part of the infinite value that I feel, that I have faith is at the center of what we are, of life in this world. And then also, one of the other sort of primary features of it, I think, is its limitation. And its necessary limitation, because as a process, and as a process which exists in a realm in which the infinite is either apparent or necessary, or at least partially evident. The concept of the infinite. What is the infinite? Right? That's something that the rational mind cannot encapsulate fully, cannot hold fully. But the rational mind, as again part of its immeasurable infinite value, can touch, can realize, can point to, can connect with. its limitation. It can always be refined. There can always be a next step towards infinity. That's what infinity is. You can always take another step. You can always take another step. You can always take another step. So then again, if we can always take another step, and if we'll never get there, right? Because it's forever. Hello. Sorry, do you speak English?
Yeah.
Is this the way out of the palace?
Oh, yeah.
That way?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay. I think we're headed in the right direction here. Can always take another step. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry for the pain that I feel, and that you feel, and that we feel. It makes me very sad. It makes me very sad. And I think that's more what I wanted to say. We're almost out of the palace. It was getting sketchy there for a while. Not because I minded being lost, but because I have an appointment. A mysterious appointment. But a step. A good step, I hope, Lord willing. And those things make me very grateful. I'm very grateful for those things, for good steps. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. What a beautiful walk. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. And now I don't really know how to end this. Staying in the same place. I'm trying. I wish to stay in the same place, but I feel compelled to let my rational mind talk for a minute. And it's not going to be perfect, and so I'm sorry. But I feel like there's some things I want to say more concretely. I'm going to try and keep it real brief. Okay. And again, I'm sorry. This is not perfect, and the fact that I'm saying it in this way, I think, is a demonstration that I don't fully understand it or feel it at all, but I feel like maybe we could all feel it and learn about it together or something. Okay, it's like the pain and anger that you have in yourself, that I have in myself, it is the same. I have faith, though I do not believe or understand. I have faith that it is the same as the pain and anger in those that I hate, that I look down upon, that I despise or fear. I don't understand. I don't understand, and I don't believe, but I do have faith. And I have faith in the resolution of unresolved notes, of dissonance, maybe? I don't know if that's the right word. I have faith in its resolution, in its ability to be resolved, and in the inherent joy and meaning of such a resolution. And I think that resolution comes from inside us, and I think it has to do with the people we hate. And the way I think hello. Another cute dog. They keep coming. I think the way we engage I'm back at the beginning now. Up here, down there, went up there. More guards. I think the way we engage with our anger and fear and indignation is that is the degree to which we are taking a step towards what we can have faith in. And it could be different for different people, but I think it's probably most like climbing a mountain from different sides. And I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but For me, when I'm in a conflict with someone that I love and I feel really upset and they feel really upset, almost always, I would say maybe always, when we get to the bottom of it, maybe not always, but if someone hasn't done something really hurtful, then we have the capability of getting to the bottom of it and seeing that at the bottom of it, it's more like a misunderstanding. And that actually the thing that I was most afraid of, and the thing that they were most afraid of, really, we didn't need to be afraid of that at all. And we were really sort of cross-firing at each other's fears. And I think I have faith. Again, I don't believe and I don't understand. But a fish does not understand how car engines work, okay? But it would make more sense for a fish to have faith in some abstract possibility of humans being able to get around quickly on the surface of the earth than not to. And I know they couldn't understand that either, but I'm mixing metaphors here. Just try and feel what I'm saying. All right, just try and feel what I'm saying, please. I have faith that the reason when something is so hurtful that you can't get to the bottom of it, the reason is not because there is no bottom or there is no resolution. The reason is that we're not skilled enough to find it. And I have faith in that. So then if the rational mind is inherently limited, and we must understand that there are things which we cannot understand, and if in the infinite realms of the universe resolution is possible, but there will likely always be places in which we are not skilled enough to go because of the infinite nature of reality, then how could we cultivate in ourselves a relationship to the infinite that allows us to become more skilled in our pursuit of resolution? For myself, that has to do with having faith in the limits of my understanding, so that the things which I react to most viscerally, the things which I feel are most evil, I don't deny my perception and my reaction, because my perception and my reaction are my perception and reaction, and I care about people, and all those things are natural and good. But paradoxically, I seek to also hold within myself simultaneously the realization that I am but a fish. And there are cosmic vehicles, the likes of which I cannot comprehend. And there are likely cosmic vehicles, the likes of which those cosmic vehicles cannot comprehend. And so a fish cannot have faith in a person having a transport on land or whatever. So that wasn't really the right thing to say, I don't think, but a fish can try and be the best fish it can. Maybe a fish just is the best fish it can. But we can be the best people we can. And let go a little bit of trying to be a mechanic for the cosmic vehicle. Trying to fix it. Because we just end up flapping around on the hood of the car.